I want to start with something that might sound backwards at first, but what if I told you that one of the most generous things you can do for the people you love is to fall completely, unapologetically in love with yourself? I know it sounds selfish, right? We've all been raised with some version of put others first or don't be too full of yourself, but what if we've been looking at this all wrong? What if all those years of trying to be everything to everyone has actually made us less available, not more? What if running ourselves into the ground, in service to others, has left us showing up as the most depleted versions of ourselves? What if the very thing we've been told makes us good women, self-sacrifice, is actually keeping us from being the mothers, partners, friends, and leaders we're capable of being? And what if the answer isn't trying harder, or doing more, but something that feels almost revolutionary? What if the answer is learning to love ourselves so well that we overflow with enough love for everyone else too? You know how we talk about love languages? How your partner needs words of affirmation, while your sister thrives on quality time, and your mom loves receiving small surprise gifts? Well, what if in addition to love languages involving others, in our environment, we, each of us, have a self-love language as well? Dears, think about the last time you did something to care for yourself. Not just checking off a self-care box, but genuinely performing an act that actually nourished you. Was it when you shut that messy closet door, made yourself a cup of tea, grabbed your favorite novel and stretched in the hammock to rest and read? Or perhaps it was when you took a long bath without feeling guilty. Or when you spoke encouraging words to yourself, the way you'd speak to your best friend who's going through a hard time. Would you believe that some of our self-love acts are in service to other people? For some of us, this is where we feel most loved by ourselves, when we're doing practical things that make others' lives easier. Doing Sunday meal prep, setting out their clothes the night before, or even just keeping fresh flowers in the house. It's that feeling of you having their back, that you intentionally care for them and about them, that can additionally translate into you bringing happiness to yourself. Another act of self-love language are speaking words of affirmation to yourself. Dear sisters, you know who you are. You light up when you catch yourself saying, "I handled that well," instead of immediately jumping to what you could have done better. Or when you write in your journal where you actually acknowledge your wins, instead of just processing your worries. Then there are the physical touch folks who feel most nourished through their bodies, maybe through relaxed stretching, or soaking in a bath salts and bath bombs. I know one sister whose self-love language is wearing clothes that make her feel amazing. My self-love language is spending quality time by myself. As an introvert, I find that this is actually restorative, and I don't mean scrolling through your phone, but spending self-quality time doing something that feeds your soul. Reading, walking, a creative hobby, or even just sitting on your deck, with your thoughts, without an agenda. And for you sisters who like to surprise others with little gifts, you can do the same for yourself. This is your self-love language. Hear me, dears, you're not materialistic for needing this. Sometimes buying yourself those expensive strawberries, or that book you've been wanting, is actually a profound act of self-love. It's saying, I matter to me too. Now here's where it gets really interesting, dears. When you start speaking your own self-love language fluently, something shifts in how you show up for everyone else. You stop expecting your partner to fill every emotional need. You stop feeling resentful when your kids interrupt you, because you've already filled your own cup that morning. You stop giving advice from a place of depletion, and start offering it from your place of overflow. Sisters, I've noticed this with my own relationships. When I'm taking care of myself, in ways that actually work for me, I'm less reactive, more present, more genuinely generous. And it's not because I'm trying to be a better person, it's because I actually have more to give, in a peaceful and loving way. And there's something else here too. When you treat yourself with genuine kindness and respect, you give everyone around you permission to do the same, for themselves. Your kids watch how you talk to yourself. Your friends notice when you set boundaries without guilt. Your partner sees what it looks like to take responsibility for your own happiness. Dears, we're all walking around modeling something. The question is what? Are we modeling the belief that everyone else's needs come first, that we should apologize for taking up space, that self-care is selfish? Or are we modeling what it looks like to be a whole person who takes responsibility for their own well-being, so they can show up fully for the people they love. So here's what I'm thinking for us, dears. What if we got really honest about how we best care for ourselves? Not how we think we should. Not what worked for our sister or our coworker, but what actually fills us up. You and me. What if you stop apologizing for needing what you need? And what if I trusted that taking exquisite care of myself is actually one of the most loving things I can do for my family, or it's the most loving thing you can do for your friends and your community? Dear sisters, here's the truth I keep coming back to, and that's, you can't pour from an empty cup. I've said this dozens of times before. Yet more than that, why would you want to? Why would you want to give people the dregs of yourself, when you could give them the overflow of a life well tended? Dears, the world needs you whole. It needs you rested and nourished and speaking kindly to yourself. It needs you modeling what it looks like to be both deeply caring and beautifully self-possessed. So let's figure out how to love ourselves so well that it becomes impossible not to love others from that same place of abundance. Until next time.